guys, welcome to day 17 of Moviefiles, 100 movies in 100 days. Yes, it's been 17 days already, getting closer to that ever-loving 100.
You stupid!
And as you know, we are celebrating Bill Murray fortnight. So what better than to actually do another Murray movie in the form of Scrooged. Scrooged is a 1998 comedy with an adult connotation, adult humour, based on A Christmas Carol. It was produced and it was directed by Richard Donner, a collaborator that Murray collaborated with in a ton of movies. Most notably, the film stars Murray and Bobcat Goldthwait, who most guys would know from Police Academy, and you know, he's the guy with the funny voice basically. They also tried to play this movie off of the buzz of Ghostbusters, having Murray surrounded by ghosts, and he did pretty good in this.
Screw you!
Can he say that on TV?
No, he shouldn't be saying that. Well, screw you too, pal, okay?
Since '84, Murray has been extremely popular, not just because of Ghostbusters, but in terms of his style of comedy. So a lot of films such as Scrooged, Groundhog Day, if you look at the Ghostbusters franchise as well, they tend to cater a lot more towards his comedy stylings. You know, his one-liners, his quims, his sarcasm, and most of the characters pretty much seem very linear, very one-dimensional. And this movie was no different, but the story does help to sort of like move things along rather well.
Oh God! Oh God, Grace! Grace, go watch the show! He's here for me, come on! Alright, come on, give it to me! You think I'm afraid of you? The day I've had? I know what you came for, come and get it, you.
Frank Cross, Bill Murray, is a cynical TV executive. You see the word cynical? Groundhog Day, I did a review the other day about that, and he was very cynical again in that.
Hey, Phil Connors!
Ned?
He found great success and wealth becoming a cold-hearted, cruel individual. Basically, this is the kind of guy who would sell swamp to your children.
That isn't good enough! They have got to be so scared to miss it, so terrified!
And probably would end up trying to sell ice to the Eskimos. His ruthless concentration over his career cost him his true love, Claire Phillips, played by Karen Allen, and he also estranged himself from his brother James, played by John Murray. He has a habit of putting his brothers in movies, in terms of putting him, well, in this, and also popping him in Ghostbusters 2 as well. Basically ruined any chance of having a happy and fulfilling life because, you know, he's pretty much Ebenezer Scrooge. Frank overworks his assistant, forcibly making her to neglect her family, when a disturbing TV commercial that he made on Christmas was criticised by a timid yes man, played by Bobcat Goldthwait. Frank then responds by firing him on Christmas Eve. And his character, by the way, his name is Elliot, so we're seeing the kind of pattern here and how this movie goes in a similar direction out of A Christmas Carol. When Cross is given the opportunity to produce a special The Christmas Carol, his life tends to start mimicking it, having 3 ghosts visit him on his bed at night. He then announces the impending visitation of 3 ghosts. The Ghost of Christmas Present, the Ghost of Christmas Past, and also the Ghost of Christmas Future. He hasn't just got that to worry about, he also has a new assistant, Bryce Cummings, who seems to be after his job.
You know, it has been such an honor to work for the great Frank Cross.
The Ghost of Christmas Past then appears and takes Frank back to his childhood, his late teens, his anniversary with Claire, and shows him the reason why he chose his job over everything else. Ghost of Christmas Present, who appears as a life-size pixie, shows him how Grace's family is living their life in poverty, and she continuously hits him over the head with her magic wand, which is hilarious. And also how much his own brother misses him. After the second ghost visit, Elliot Loudermake, drunk, angry, and packing, decides to visit his office with a shotgun, as he wants to kill him. The Ghost of Christmas Future, who's a 7-foot tall ghoul with a TV screen for a head, then shows him the future if he keeps on doing what he's doing. Calvin has ended up in a mental hospital. Claire has become cold and uncaring as he is, and decides to just basically be a cruel bitch. And James and his wife attend his cremation, so they can just say wave bye-bye to the body and watch him burn. Frank finally sees the error of his ways and begins to set up a more positive production. Frank then hires Loudermilk and a considerable salary increase, even though he tried to kill him. I wouldn't have hired him back, would have called the police. Steps in front of the live rolling cameras and then gets Loudermilk to basically hold everybody else hostage, which attempts to stop him, and then delivers a monologue talking about how you spend Christmas with people that you care about and loving one another, yada 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 yada. Calvin then urges him to add the phrase "God bless us everyone," which is from the Christmas Carol, and Tiny Tim. Claire appears in the studio and then Frank reconciles with her, embracing her with a kiss, and then Grace and everybody sings "Put a Little Love in Your Heart," which again is the theme song from this film. Now let's go to the acting. Murray, as always, is flawless. He's who he is, basically. Isn't that these characters that he was playing in the 80s were always an extension of him. Very witty, very charming, and also very sarcastic as well at the same time. The story as well is very warm-hearted, but also gives that sort of adult attention to the Christmas Carol. You know, very dead-end medium Mongol, someone who wants to destroy everything and doesn't care who he steps on to get his way. And then it puts a positive spin on things, changing him from the visitation of the ghosts straight down to the way that he sees his life and sees the way that his life is going. Bobcat Goldthwait is funny but kind of nonsensical as well. Again, he had his own shtick going on where he would always play this angry guy, so he's very timid, won't say much, and then sort of screaming. I can't do it because I don't know how to do his voice. It's very weird the way he speaks. And in terms of the movie itself, it's a Murray vehicle. This movie sets itself around him. He's the lead. Everything else does not seem rather essential, but everybody in regards to the association of supporting actors played their roles rather nicely. In terms of watching this film, it's kind of a niche movie. A lot of TV stations over here in the UK play this movie on Christmas Day as something to, you know, instead of the Christmas Carol, to kind of mix things up a little bit. So let's go down to the rating. What would I give this movie? From a 1 to 5 perspective, 1 being the worst and 5 being the best, I give this movie another solid 3. As always with Murray films, like especially stuff to this credit, without him, I doubt this film would have actually made the impact that it did. It made a bit of money, it was a very nice sort of family style movie, it was a very positive take on the Christmas Carol and gave it more of a modern approach. But would I watch this again and would I recommend it to friends? Tell you the truth, not really. It's one of those Murray vehicles where he has done things better. His body of work is so vast where he's managed to actually break this character type that he was actually pushed into and go into more diverse roles. So as always guys, remember to check me out on Twitch TV as I'll be playing the game Ghostbusters. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel for more MovieFile reviews, and also check out fanboysanonymous.com and nerdgenious.com for reviews and articles on Bill Murray. I'm going to be doing the top 10 comics starring Murray for Fanboys Anonymous, so check that out. And as always, if you've got a Murray film that you want to recommend, leave a comment below. Do you think this review is kind of accurate? Leave a comment below and likey, commenty and subscribe it, as you always do. And to those that have actually joined me on Nerdgenious, thank you for subscribing to the channel, and just stay tuned for more MovieFile and more Bill Murray Fortnite.